Retailers offer a wide range of high-quality fruit and vegetables all year round. But how does the retail trade manage to guarantee such consistently high quality? Who makes sure that we can enjoy safe, delicious fruit and veg every day? From sowing to harvest, producers in Germany, Europe and worldwide put all their expertise and effort into growing high-quality goods for sale. About 1/3 of the fruit and vegetables sold in Germany are grown domestically. Nearly half come from the European Union. Non-EU countries supply 20%, and these goods are a particular focus for the BLE Federal Inspection Service. In Germany and throughout the EU, fresh fruit and vegetables are mainly transported by lorry. Most intercontinental transport is by ship. Only a fraction of fruit and veg is transported by air, and then it's usually taken as extra cargo on passenger aircraft. In Germany, the inspection service at the BLE, the Federal Office for Agriculture and Food, is responsible for monitoring the import and export of fruit and vegetables to and from non-EU countries. Quality inspectors carry out controls at ports, airports and on traders' premises to make sure that the goods meet EU marketing standards. EU marketing standards ensure that fruit and vegetables offered for sale meet the minimum requirements regarding edibility and labelling. Importers and exporters register fruit and vegetables online with the BLE for inspection. A dispatcher checks the incoming declarations and selects consignments for inspection. In the arrival hall, the inspector takes a sample of packages from different parts of the lot. This sample is then examined in detail at the inspection station. Each sample must be correctly labelled. The inspector checks whether the label contains the sender's name and address, the country of origin, and, in the case of avocados, their class and variety. The inspector looks at each avocado and checks whether it meets the requirements of the respective marketing standard. He also checks its ripeness, soundness, and size. We tested avocados today and found that some of them were Class 2 rather than Class 1, with skin defects and flesh defects. But overall they are within the allowed tolerance limits for Class 1, so we will now issue a certificate of conformity. This certificate allows the importer to declare and import the avocados. There was a problem with the export of table grapes. The grapes were perfectly fine in terms of quality, but unfortunately the information on the label didn't include the country of origin. The forwarder labels the produce correctly, and the grapes can then continue their journey to Switzerland. The BLE inspection service sometimes also detects serious defects. We found some defects in these apples, which meant that they weren't Class 1 as labelled, but that was within the tolerance limits. But we also found apples that weren't sound. They had a bitter pit, as we call it, and since there are too many of them, this lot must be rejected. The importer now has a chance to regrade the apples. If they then meet the required standards, the BLE will release them after a follow-up inspection. In other cases, rejected goods can be used in processed food. Very rarely, fruit or vegetables are so badly damaged that they are destroyed under customs supervision. While the BLE inspects the import of fruit and vegetables from non-EU countries, the supplier countries inspect their produce before it is shipped or exported. In the wholesale and retail trade in Germany, the controls are carried out by the federal state's inspection services. Traders are also obliged to regularly carry out their own checks on their fruit and vegetables. This ensures that consumers can always buy quality produce. On top of that, you and I can use our senses to make good decisions when shopping. Here are a few tips. Bright, clear colours are a sure sign of fresh vegetables and ripe fruit. With a lot of fruit, you can tell when it is ripe by its smell. You can also sometimes hear if produce is fresh and ripe. If a watermelon is ripe, it will make a deep and resonant sound when you tap it. And finally, If it's permitted, you can find out whether fruit is ripe, sweet and juicy by tasting it.